The tremors beneath a glass palace.
The day when we will fold the heaven like the folding of a written sheet for the records. As we began the first creation, we will repeat it. That is a promise binding upon us. Indeed, we will do it. Surah Al-Anbiya 21:104. Thoughtfully, you've felt it, haven't you? That strange, quiet hum of anxiety beneath the constant noise of our world. It's the flicker of unease you feel while endlessly scrolling through images of perfect lives. The sudden hollow feeling that comes after a day of digital distractions. Why do we live in smart homes but have broken families? Why do we have 1,000 friends online, but a loneliness so profound it has become an epidemic? What becomes of a civilization that can generate entire worlds with artificial intelligence, but cannot find peace in its own soul? Could it be that this dazzling, glittering age of progress is not a new dawn, but the beautiful electric twilight just before a long and prophesied night? Our story is the story of right now. The time is the early 21st century, an age of urgent, furious, relentless change. Our geography is the entire globe, stitched together by fiber optic cables and satellite signals. A planet where a war on one continent can be watched live on a phone on another. Our culture is a paradox. We are defined by a faith in progress, a belief that every problem, from climate change to human mortality, is just a data set waiting to be solved by the right algorithm. We build gleaming towers of glass and steel that scrape the clouds, monuments to our own ambition. Skeptical, this is our state of blessing, an illusion of godlike control, a fragile prosperity built on a mountain of debt and distraction. But if you listen carefully, past the ping of notifications and the hum of servers, you can hear the cracks beginning to form. This unseen darkness is a spiritual void. We have traded wisdom for information, community for connectivity, and contentment for consumption. We are so mesmerized by the intricate dance of the creation that we have forgotten to ask, who wrote the music? We have built a glass palace of technological wonders, but we can all feel the tremors beneath our feet.
But what if these tremors are not random? What if our modern anxieties, our political polarization, our ecological fears are not just features of the 21st century, but symptoms of a spiritual sickness foretold over 1,400 years ago? What if we are not the authors of this story, but merely actors in its final, terrifying chapter? And soon, the first signs of this ancient prophecy, once dismissed as myth, would begin to manifest with a clarity that could no longer be ignored, not as a single great cataclysm, but as the strange and unsettling headlines of our daily news. A prophecy unfolding in real time. The warnings were never meant to be a sudden shock. They were designed to be a slow, creeping dawn of recognition, a series of prophetic signs woven so seamlessly into the fabric of our world that only the truly observant would notice. These are the minor signs of the Day of Judgment, and their arrival is the first great sign that the final hour is approaching. When the companions asked the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, how they would recognize this era, he gave them a series of snapshots, not of a distant alien world, but of our own. He said a time would come when you would see the barefoot, naked, destitute shepherds competing in the construction of lofty buildings. Sahih Muslim 8a. For centuries, this was a baffling image. Today, it is the literal skyline of the Arabian Gulf. The race for the world's tallest building is a global spectacle. We see gleaming needle-like towers, miracles of engineering rise from the very desert sands that were once roamed by nomads. As scholars have commented, this prophecy points to a time of radical social and economic upheaval, where wealth is so abundant it is spent not on need, but on boastful competition. And is this not the world we live in? A world of vanity projects and extravagant displays of wealth while inequality continues to grow.
Thoughtful. But the prophecy did not end there. It described not just our world, but our very souls. He warned of a time when killing would become so rampant that the killer will not know why he has killed, and the slain will not know why he has been slain. Sahih Muslim 2908a. Thoughtful. Does this not capture the terrifying senselessness of the random violence that plagues our modern cities? A violence that often defies logic or motive? Reflective. He spoke of a time when trust would be lifted, when the most dishonest man would be considered the most trustworthy leader of a people. He foretold that a man would leave his home a believer in the morning and return a disbeliever at night, selling his religion for a paltry worldly gain. In our hyper-capitalist world, where principles are compromised daily for a promotion, for social media fame, or for simple financial gain, how many of us have felt the pressure of that transaction? Analytical. The Quran speaks directly to the psychology of a people who witness such clear signs but refuse to see them. A willful blindness born of arrogance and comfort. Solemn. And even if we opened to them a gate from the heaven, and they were to continue ascending therein, they would say, "Our eyes have only been dazzled." Rather, we are a people affected by magic. Surah Al-Hijr 15:14-15. Exasperated. This is our modern condition. We see the signs, but we explain them away with the magic of sociology, economics, and political science. Social decay is liberation. The disintegration of the family is progress. The gnawing emptiness in our souls is a chemical imbalance to be corrected with a pill. We have an explanation for everything, except the one that truly matters. Urgent, the tension escalates. The signs no longer appear in isolation. They are a cascade, a symphony of prophetic fulfillment. A righteous few see the pattern and their hearts tremble. They turn back to God with a new urgency. Concerned. But the majority are lost, lulled into a deep sleep by the endless stream of entertainment and distraction flowing from the small, glowing screens in their hands. Serious. And then, as the world becomes fully saturated with these minor signs, the stage will be set for the arrival of the major signs. Events so cataclysmic, so reality-bending, that even the most stubborn denier will have nowhere left to hide. Grave, the great unraveling, forceful. The final warnings will not be whispered. They will be a terrifying roar that silences the world. Grave, these are the major signs of the hour, a rapid and horrifying sequence of events that will signal the final unraveling of time, space, and the laws of physics themselves. The curtain will rise on the greatest trial of deception humanity will ever face. Grave, the arrival of the Dajjal, the Antichrist. In a world already accustomed to fake news and virtual realities, he will be the master of the ultimate illusion. He will emerge in a time of great global strife, and he will appear to have power over the physical world. He will offer food to the starving, wealth to the poor, and false miracles to the spiritually desperate. He will have with him a paradise and a hellfire. But the prophet warned that his fire is a cool garden, and his garden is a burning fire. His deception will be so potent that many will proclaim him God. Just as the despair of the believers reaches its peak, the second great sign will descend. Solemn, the prophet Isa, Jesus, the son of Maryam, will return to the earth, not as a new prophet, but as a follower of the final message. He will be the one to defeat the Dajjal and bring his trial to an end. But the unraveling will only accelerate. Grave, the great barrier holding back the destructive hordes of Gog and Magog will be broken. A strange, suffocating smoke will cover the earth. The sun will rise from the west, a horrifying cosmic reversal that will slam the door of repentance shut forever. Solemn. And then the universe itself will begin to die. Grave, the punishment for a creation that has forgotten its creator will be a total cosmic collapse. Dramatic. The Quran describes this final deconstruction with visceral, cinematic power. Quote, solemnly. when the sky is torn apart, and when the stars are scattered, and when the seas are erupted, and when the contents of graves are overturned, a soul will then know what it has put forth and kept back. Surah Al-Anbiya, 82, 1-5. Imagine the sheer terror of that moment. Gravely, the mountains, our symbols of eternal strength, will be crushed into dust. The oceans, the cradle of life, will boil over into flame. The sun, our source of light and life, will be extinguished and wrapped up in darkness. The sky will be peeled back like a scroll. Awestruck, the final trumpet will sound, and every living thing will fall silent in death. The universe will hold its breath. Then a second trumpet, and the resurrection will begin. And the horn will be blown, and whoever is in the heavens and whoever is on the earth will fall dead except whom Allah wills. Then it will be blown again, and at once they will be standing, looking on. Surah Az-Zumar, 39:68. Intensely. Every soul that has ever lived will rise from the dust, standing naked and afraid on a transformed earth, their eyes staring in horror. Somberly, the short, fleeting dream of life will be over, and the long, unsparing reality of eternity will have just begun.